Hey Virgo, and happy birthday. This is Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. Welcome. My name's Erica. Why don't you sit a while, we'll talk about the stars. On the 1st of September, we are going to be having a new moon solar eclipse at 9 degrees of Virgo, and this will be occurring in your first house, Virgo. 9 degrees of Virgo, the Sabian symbol for this reads, two heads looking out and beyond the shadows. And when I was meditating over this, I literally was seeing in my mind's eye people emerging from like a bomb shelter or a storm shelter and just canvassing the lay of the land, their new reality, or the new reality that we'll be facing after this eclipse season. So maybe something you want to think about. Sabian symbols were created in 1925 by a clairvoyant named Elsie Wheeler, and they're used to symbolize 0 to 30 degrees of each zodiac sign of the astrological wheel. So for you, Virgo, this new moon solar eclipse is occurring in your first house, but it will be T-squaring Saturn and Sagittarius in your fourth house to Neptune and Pisces in your seventh house. And I've got a little diagram because I'm so fancy, right? So this is basically what it's going to feel like for you. This is representative of your first house. This is representative of your fourth house. And this is representative of your seventh house. You're going to feel like you're being pulled in 3 different directions, and it's going to feel or bring forth feelings of tension, worry, and concern in between these areas. The first house is the house of personality, physical body, and appearance. It is the physical embodiment of who you are and how people see you. The fourth house is representative of home and family. Home is where you live now or where you consider home to be. Family is your immediate family or your nuclear family. That could be your spouse, children, and or fur babies, or if you're not married, your roommates. And if that isn't applicable, then possibly your parents or people that you consider to be parents. If that still isn't applicable, then look to your foundation or your roots, and that can be metaphorical or literal. So all of that is going to be going on the 1st of September. On the 9th of September, we have Jupiter moving into Libra, which is your second house. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, achievement, and excess. And your second house is the house of values. It's the house of self-esteem, earning ability, possessions, and money. So Jupiter moving into the second house means that you could really have an expansion in this area of life, which is awesome for you, Virgo. Congratulations. Enjoy it while you can. It's about a year-long transit. The very next day, we have Saturn in Sagittarius having an exact square to Neptune and Pisces. This is a square between your 4th and your 7th house that already underwent some energy under the new moon solar eclipse. The 4th house once again represents home and family. The 7th house represents partnerships, identification with others, counseling, and open enemies. Open enemies can be somebody that you would testify against in open court, but it can also be, how I'm seeing it, is arguing with another person in an online forum where other people get to see the exchange. Now, if you want to pause, if you're watching this at the release, at the release date at the very end of August, you can go ahead and pause and skip forward to the tarot portion because we're at the halfway point for the astrological happenings for September. But welcome back if you're here for the mid-month report. On the 16th, we'll be having a full moon prenumbral lunar eclipse at 24 degrees of Pisces in your 7th house. And that's a lot of energy going through your 7th house. And in 16 days, you've had 3 different major transitions go on of energy. So the 7th house, once again, is partnerships, how you identify with others. Could also be counseling or open enemies. Open enemies, once again, arguing in an online forum for other people to see. That's my interpretation. You don't have to take it as such if you choose. On the 22nd, we have the sun moving into Libra, which is also your second house. So you're going to have a lot of positive energy moving into the second house of values, money, possessions, earning ability, and self-esteem. It's beautiful for you. Congratulations. The very same day on the 22nd, we will have Mercury going station direct after his post-retrograde dance, if you will, in the sky in your first house. The first house speaks to personality, appearance, physical body. It is the embodiment of who you are and how people see you. You've probably had a hard time getting your message across to people, or you've probably been very misunderstood. Just breathe. We all go through it. Mercury's your ruler, and the fact that he's going retrograde is a big deal for you, Virgo. On the 24th, we have Venus moving into Scorpio, which is your third house. The third house represents communication, short distance journeys, and siblings, cousins, and neighbors. Communication is how you speak, how you are understood, and how others understand you. And how you understand them as well. Communication covers your technological devices, your phone, tablet, internet connection, computer, work equipment. Can also speak to how you get from point A to point B and how you get your message out to the world. So that's a lot to undergo. But Venus moving in there is a really nice energy because she's it represents the planet of love, beauty, and harmony. So your words may be coming across much more smoothly now that Mercury has gone station direct in his post-retrograde dance. So communication may be smoothing out for you a little bit, which is nice. On the 28th, we have Mars, the planet of energy, impulse, and aggression, moving into Capricorn, which is your fifth house, the house of pleasures, social life, children, and creativity. It's also the house of pets, your daily responsibilities, but things that bring you joy, things that you put your energy into. On the 30th, we have a new moon at 8 degrees Libra in your second house. This is a perfect opportunity for you to start a new money-making endeavor or to grow your possessions or self-esteem. Also an opportunity for you to possibly boost your earning ability with this new moon on the 30th. So that's what's going on for you, Virgo. Enjoy your birthday month, and I will get my cards, transition over to the tarot, and have all of this time stamped down below. But thank you so much for sitting here with me and taking the time out of your day to listen to what might be going on with the stars and how they may be coming your way. I'll be right back, y'all. Hang tight. Hey, Virgo, I'm back. Before I pull your cards and do a little bit more shuffling, I wanted to let you know that I'm going to pull a Butterfly Oracle card for life changes from Doreen Virtue for you. And I'm also going to pull a Sacred Rebels Oracle card for you. And this is by Elena Fairchild. The artwork is by Autumn Sky Morrison. So I'll pull that along with the tarot spread for my Virgo friends for this new moon in September. I'll be back to pull cards for you for the full moon and the new moon at the end of the month, but right now I'm trying to get this out to y'all as fast as I can. Had a lot of delays trying to get this video series done. It's Mercury, y'all. Do me a favor and pay attention to the side of the road and see how many vehicles you see broken down or people having car troubles. It's not for you to smirk or point and laugh, but it's to show you that this Mercury retrograde stuff is real. It manifests. Not for everyone in the same houses, but you know. You have a lot of energy moving through your 7th house in the next 2 weeks. 7th house is ruled by Libra, but it speaks to partnerships, how you identify with others, counseling, and open enemies. Could be how you're identifying with your parents or the people that you live at home with or in your home with. And it's all triggered by the new moon solar eclipse on the 1st. Okay, I'm going to cut for you now. All right, the bottom card of the first stack did not want to come up, so I'm going to have that as your bottom card. I'm going to pull the top 3 for clarity. Go ahead and get this up here. Sorry, I've got a limited workspace. Get my Butterfly Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. This was another deck when I was at Bucks A Million in Monroe that just kind of stood out on the shelf to me and was like, hey guy, you need me. Kind of like this card right here standing out. We'll take the bottom card. Well, there were 2 cards that were stuck together. Lucky y'all, some lanyard for the Virgos. Happy birthday, happy birthday. The Sacred Rebels Oracle card. I'm sorry if I just blew in y'all's ear. This is a new mic. I'm getting used to the differentials, if you will. If I blew in your ear, I'm sorry. But yeah, the fiance did a great job picking this mic out for me because I can totally do these videos with my air conditioner running. That's a super score. Yeah, I'm gonna make dessert for him. He's gonna grill me a steak later. I'm gonna fix him dessert. We scratch each other's backs. And he's a Virgo, by the way. Hey, babe. I love you. All right, let me flip these. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Y'all have 2 major arcana. They're both upright. Okay, 3 Butterfly Oracle cards. This is a new moon solar eclipse happening in your sign, Virgo, so it makes total sense that you have some extra cards, some lanyard fall. If you're new to this channel or new to me, lanyard means a little something extra down from Louisiana, so enjoy the lanyard. All right, the bottom card, the one that did not want to come up, the underlying theme or the overarching energy for you is the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 for me represents your 4th house energy, and you are having 4th house energy due to this new moon solar eclipse. The 4th house represents home and family. Home is where you live now currently or where you consider home to be. Family is your immediate or nuclear family, spouse, children, and or fur baby, or roommates if that is the case. If that's not the case, then your family being your parents, mother and father, or people who you consider to be like parents to you, could also speak to foundations or roots. The Pentacles represent earth sign energy, and that is Taurus, you Virgo, and Capricorn. The Pentacles on the card represent resources. Resources are anything from money to energy to love. It's what you spend on another person, another living thing, or another situation. It's in the reverse, so in the upright, you've got your hands on your money, you're very concerned about it, but in the reverse, it could be that, it's representative of the T-square in your 4th house, where you may be having money dealing with your home. You may be having, the rent may go up, or you may feel like you don't want to pay as much as what you are paying now where you're at, be at home, or if it's not that, it could be your parents having to deal with resources in some way or a lack thereof. The first card in the top 3 for clarity that you got is the 8 of Cups in reverse. The 8 speaks to the 8th house, which is life, death, rebirth, or birth, primal or basic instinct, other people's money, regeneration, transformation, or metamorphosis, or sexuality. The Cups cards represent emotions, relationships, or things that you devote your time and energy to that fill you up and make you feel like you have substance. The cups also represent water sign energy. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. It does not have to be this person's sun sign. It can be their moon or their rising. You will not know that unless you've looked at their chart. This is walking away from a situation that you've invested a lot in, but it's just not worth it anymore to you. And you may be having a realization about it around the new moon solar eclipse, because the moon and the sun are all in Virgo at this time. It could be very much having a situation come to light for you, and it's highly emotional. It could be dealing with a relationship. It's with a card, it's playing out in your 8th house. You're not having any 8th house energy per se, but you are having a lot of 7th house energy, and 7th house energy could bleed over into the 8th house energy, because that's the house of partnerships, and partnerships are intimate relationships as well as business partnerships and friendships. So it just depends on how it's hitting you personally. But the next card that you got is the 8th card in the major arcana, and this is your second number, 8. So 8 may be very important to you, dealing with the 8th house. Again, life, death, rebirth, other people's money, sexuality, basic or primal instinct, transformation, metamorphosis, or regeneration. This is, like I said, the 8th card in the major arcana. That represents Leo or self-confidence. Whenever I pull this card for me in my own personal readings that I do for myself, it's always saying, have the strength to keep your mouth shut. And it's very much, pardon the extreme close-up, but she is fighting, well, not fighting, but I mean, she's having to manipulate this Leo, this mouth shut. And it may be dealing with a Leo. You may be the Leo. If it is a Leo, it could be their sun, moon, or rising sign. You'll only know that if you know their chart. It means exercising your talent and having the strength to put it on display for others to see. Be grounded in it, though. Be grounded in this display of strength, whatever you have to do. And it may be dealing with your 7th house, but you have 2 8s coming up. Let me write the numbers while I'm thinking about it for the tarot total. All right. So, money situation, probably dealing with the fact that you feel like there's a lack in some regard. Emotional situation, relationship situation, a situation that you've invested a lot in, but it just doesn't feel fulfilling to you anymore, or rewarding to you anymore. It's just not worth it. Have the strength to overcome this situation. Not everything in life is going to be on the up and up all the time. And like I said, this is a new moon solar eclipse. This is the beginning for you. This is a new beginning. And when you've got a new beginning, there has to be an ending that you can't have that new beginning without the ending. That's just the way that it goes. The last card that you got, the World card. This is the 21st card in the major arcana. 2 + 1 is 3. This is the house of communication, short distance journeys, and siblings. Communication can be how you speak and how you are understood and how you understand others. Can also be the technological devices that you use, tablet, phone, computer, work devices, the vehicles that get you from point A to point B. The World card represents the planet Saturn. Saturn is in your 4th house. and there is a T square. There's square energy that's going on to Saturn, from your 4th to your 7th house. The 4th house is home and family. The 7th house is partnerships and how you identify with others. Partnerships can be intimate or familial, can also be friendships, business, work relationships, partnerships. Saturn is the planet that represents structure, limitation, and containment. The World card, as a major arcana card, like I have already said, represents Saturn, but it also, in the upright, is supposed to represent peace. For me personally, I think of the internet when I see this card because of the interconnectedness. It's the ideas coming from the 4 corners of the world. Literally, once upon a time, you had to type in www, and that was the World Wide Web. It's hard for me not to think of this. You may need to search on the internet for a new roommate or a new residence. You may need to search for a way to save money on your housing, or just your expenses in whole. But housing is the big thing that seems to be coming through astrologically. If it's not your home, it's your family, and it's dealing with your partnerships as well. Okay, the tarot total ended up being 41. 4 plus 1 is 5. The 5th house is ruled by Leo. And that speaks to pleasure, social life, children, creativity, also your pets. And this guy right here makes me think of animals as well. So pay attention to that. Maybe have some 5th house energy playing out. There's not any astrologically, but it's coming forth in the tarot, so heads up. The Sacred Rebels Oracle card that I pulled for you is every journey starts with a single step. And that is so indicative to what I just got finished saying about how every beginning requires an ending to be in place. You can't have chapter 2 until chapter 1 is finished. This is encouraging you to take that step, to have the strength to take that step. And you know what it is. It's been nagging at you for a while. It's been slowly pulling at you. There is a suitcase in this light being's hand, so it could very much be that you are traveling. You might be going on a nice pilgrimage in some way. That would be pretty cool. This is the 12th card of this Oracle card deck. 1 plus 2 is 3, which once again speaks to your house of communication, short distance journeys, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. So you may need to, don't be afraid to take that first step. If it's dealing with your relationships or how you deal with partners, if it's dealing with counseling, maybe you need counseling. Maybe you need counseling dealing with your family situation. Don't be afraid to take that first step. It's not a bad thing to reach out for help. But you've got to communicate that you have that need. And it could be, this is very impactful for you. This new moon solar eclipse is occurring in your first house. It's going to be on a very deep level for you. This is a very new beginning. You got 3 butterfly oracle cards. Let me move my tarot cards out of the way because I keep bumping around. Pardon me. And I just got finished talking about counseling. Healing from the past. This could be actually going to a counselor and having therapeutic sessions. This could be sitting down and talking with a friend or journaling. but allowing those wounds to heal is the best thing forward for you. It could be dealing with your family situation or a home situation. It could be dealing with a partnership situation, intimate, business, friendship. You know your particular situation. But now is a time for you to embrace healing from the past. This is a new moon. This is a new beginning. This is a solar eclipse. This is a new moon jacked up on 6 Red Bulls. Use this time to heal whatever wounds that you have. Make it a beginning. The 7th house is dealing with counseling. Don't be afraid. The second card is adult children. And this may speak very strongly to you because of the family energy that you are dealing with. If you are an adult in the situation, you may be having to deal with aging parents and the logistics of their care and how that's going to happen. If you don't have adult children and you do have children, this could be speaking to the balancing of partnership between you and your partner, so that the children's needs are taken care of without you feeling depleted or them feeling depleted. You need to reach out and actually say that you need this help and not be afraid to stand up for yourself and your needs. And this is coming from someone who learned this lesson the very hard way. Think of yourself as a well. W-E-L-L, like a water well. People go to you to fill themselves up, but they can't fill themselves up if you're empty. You have to take care of yourself. Insist on it. This may also mean that you need to spend more time with your children, your younger children, if you have children. If you don't have children, then it could be that you need to spend time with your nephews or your nieces, whatever, or godchildren. Whatever the case may be, you need to embrace your inner child, if nothing else. You may be feeling a little childish as well, because this is some pretty sensitive energy going on. This is sensitive parts of your chart. And the last card that you got is gracefully aging, which is something that I'm trying my best to embrace every day. I think that the idea of gracefully aging is something that you can definitely you can embrace if you observe your parents. I think one of the things about gracefully aging is seeing your parents as humans and not as the superhero parents that they were supposed to be, or your expectations, pardon me, where your expectations weren't met by them. I think that's a major part of gracefully aging, is being able to see your parents for the human beings that they are. And please understand that, you know, they were human beings and doing the very best that they could with what they had at the time. And it may not have been what you would have done, but it's what they did. And that's why it's a really good time for you to embrace healing from your past. Virgo, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you have a happy birthday month. Take a deep breath. Employ your self-care measures, because you're going to need it. We're all extra sensitive right now. Please be kind to yourself and save some of that kindness for others, because we're all feeling a little crazy as well. Take care of yourself. I'll be around for the full moon and the new moon at the end of the month, middle and end of the month. I'll have all of this time stamped as well. Thanks so much for sitting a spell. Mercury is kicking my behind, y'all. I appreciate y'all being here more than you know. Take care, and I'll see y'all at the full moon. Bye, y'all.